Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal and heartwarming stories from the book of Genesis, a story of faith, patience, and a promise fulfilled against all odds. We're talking about the birth of Isaac. So, let's set the scene. We have Abraham and Sarah, a couple who have journeyed with God for decades. God had made a monumental promise to Abraham, that he would be the father of a great nation, with descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. It's an incredible promise, a divine covenant. But there was just one, rather significant, hurdle. Abraham and Sarah were getting old, very old, and they still had no children. Imagine being in their shoes. Years turn into decades. The promise feels more distant with every gray hair. Sarah, who was 90 years old, had long passed the age of childbearing. In her own words, the way of women had ceased for her. Abraham was 100 years old. From a purely human perspective, the situation looked completely impossible. It's easy for us to read this and know the outcome, but for them, living it day by day, the wait must have been excruciating. It's a profound testament to the struggle between human doubt and divine timing. This is where the story takes a fascinating and, frankly, very human turn. One day, three mysterious visitors appear at Abraham's tent by the oaks of Mamre. Abraham, ever the hospitable host, rushes to welcome them, preparing a lavish meal of calf, bread, and curds. He doesn't yet realize he's entertaining angels, and perhaps even the Lord himself. During their visit, one of the guests makes a stunning announcement. He says, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife shall have a son." Now, Sarah is inside the tent, listening. And what does she do? She laughs. It's not a laugh of joy, but a laugh of disbelief. A bitter, cynical laugh. Can you blame her? After all these years of waiting, of silent prayers and fading hope, this promise must have sounded absurd. "After I am worn out, and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure?" she thinks to herself. But the Lord hears her silent, inward laugh. He asks Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Shall I indeed bear a child, now that I am old?'" And then comes one of the most powerful questions in all of Scripture. Is anything too hard for the Lord? That question hangs in the air, challenging not just Sarah's doubt, but ours as well. It cuts through all our perceived limitations, our impossibles, and our what-ifs. Sarah, caught and flustered, denies laughing. But the Lord knows. "No, but you did laugh." This moment is so raw and relatable. It shows us that even people of great faith have moments of profound doubt. Sarah's laughter isn't condemned as a final failure. It's understood as a human reaction to a supernatural promise. And it makes the miracle that follows even more spectacular. True to his word, about a year later, the impossible happens. Against all biological odds, against all logic, against all the years of waiting and doubt, Sarah conceives and gives birth to a son. Abraham, obedient to God's command, names him Isaac. And this is where the story comes full circle in the most beautiful way. The name Isaac, or Yitzhak in Hebrew, means he laughs. The very name of the promised child is a direct callback to Sarah's moment of disbelief. But this time, the laughter is different. Sarah herself declares, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." What a transformation! The laughter of cynical doubt has been redeemed and transformed into the pure, unadulterated laughter of joy. The name Isaac becomes a permanent reminder of God's faithfulness and his sense of humor. turning a symbol of human weakness into a monument of divine power. It is a testament that God can take our moments of deepest skepticism and turn them into our greatest testimonies of His goodness. The birth of Isaac is more than just a family story. It's the continuation of the covenant. Isaac is the promised heir through whom God's plan to bless all nations would unfold. He is a critical link in the lineage that would eventually lead to Jesus Christ. His birth proves that God's plans are not constrained by human limitations, by age, or by circumstances. When God makes a promise, He keeps it, in His time and in His way. This story encourages us to hold on to the promises God has given us, even when they seem delayed or impossible. It reminds us that our timeline is not God's timeline. It teaches us that it's okay to have moments of doubt, just like Sarah did, but we shouldn't let that doubt be the final word. Instead, we can bring our laughter of disbelief to God and trust that He has the power to transform it into the laughter of pure joy. What promises are you waiting on today? What seems impossible in your life? Remember the question posed to Sarah. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Let the story of Isaac's birth be an encouragement to you, a reminder that with God, all things are possible. He is faithful, and He will fulfill His word. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive into the story of Isaac's birth. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay blessed and keep the faith.